is the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. I'm Steve Carver. Glad to welcome you on board tonight, and thanks for joining us. We're online a lot and just trying to help entrepreneurs move forward. Let me know through email any way in the world that I can help you, and I'll be glad to do it. I'm not a lawyer and an accountant. I'm just here as a fellow that's been in business a long time offering you free advice. The most important advice I can offer to you is always get second and third opinions before you make important decisions about your business or your financial security, which brings us right straight to the Small Business Center at Pamlico County. These centers around the state and wherever you are the best place to go get free advice and confidential as you're making decisions. And as Katie was just introducing herself, she's down here in Pamlico, but all these different counties have small business centers. So if you want to get in touch with the one in your county, let me know and I'll help you reach out to them. Bayboro is right here in the beautiful Pamlico County, low country, just great farming country, fishing country, camping country, beautiful people, beautiful sights. So I'm just honored to be a part of and being able to revisit Bayboro. Here's the Small Business Center. If you're coming over tomorrow night, this is what it looks like. So make plans to come and see Martin if you can. Contact Katie and pre-register so she'll know you're coming. I do want to say for our rest of our webinars now, it's really important that you go to her website and register for each one of the webinars. These programs are funded by the state, and they're funded based on how many registrations we have. So please go there and register for each webinar so we can keep doing these programs for you. Now, your chat button's over on the side. If this is your first time on board, learn how to use that chat button. Please type your name in and your email address. We definitely need your email address so we can reach out to you, hometown, and any other thing you'd like to add. And that's the place that you would ask questions or request free study guides. You can send your emails to everybody or to Katie or to me, so it can be private if you want it to be. Study guides that are going out for tonight's presentation include guide number 965, which are the talking points we'll use tonight to go along with the slides. And also we'll have a study guides with the 40 Main Street drill skills. Last week, last Thursday night at Bayboro, we talked about doing a business plan. So I am including those handouts in your for the program tonight. If y'all weren't able to go to that, I want you to have the advantage of how to do your business plan, and a lot of it is in there. Now, if you don't have if you didn't get a study guide or a handout, over in the chat board, make sure you type in that you need it. We'll be glad to send it to you. There's no charge. And also, we're going to try to record tonight, but the message told me I might be out of space, so I'm not sure if the recording will go through tonight, but we'll try. If it does, I'll be glad to share it with you if you'd like for me to. Homework assignments are in your handouts, and here they are to get extra certificates and mainly to learn how to make your business grow, be more profitable with less stress. I want you to do some videos. I want you to write a vision and mission and promise statement, share videos, share photographs with us. Get on Facebook, both personal and business pages. Read and watch the Main Street drill skills and rewrite them in your words, or in other words, open that word file up and under each one of the skills, paraphrase it to how you'll use that particular thing that we're talking about. Now, if your circumstances are special, and everyone is, and you can't complete any of these to qualify you, just drop me a note, because this is not a take it or leave it judgment. We want you to have those certificates. We're looking forward to it, so you'll take pride in what you're doing and be able to mark your steps as we go forward. Some folks just go the extra mile, and I am so glad and so excited, Katie, that you've got a bunch of folks that are really turning to, and I just want to say welcome to everyone. I'll mention the ones that were with us for the last couple of Wednesday nights, that some I've heard from, with Steffi, Alexandria, Beth, Alan, someone in Manassas, and Lawson has been with us, and she's on board big times. Appreciate her being with us, and Roman has been with us, and he's communicating a little bit. Dr. Carol Ray over in Graham has been with us. She's an Academy Associate. She's graduated from several Academy series and keeps coming back. I'll be surprised if she doesn't join us tonight. Angela Hennett, a very active associate and working hard towards putting her businesses together. She's in the trucking business now, but she's looking forward to starting a catering and an event planning business and maybe doing some peer support specialty work. So how about this? Nicole has been on board, doing a great job. Thank you for those lovely pictures, Nicole. Let's see if I don't see you on board right now, but maybe you'll chime in. But Nicole is doing a wonderful job with her business. She's trying to push it forward. Creative Two Sisters. She makes a lot of really neat items, beauty products and beauty items, candles and soaps and lotions. Just a good job marketing, but we just need to branch it out and learn how to get more product and more volume out there. So I want to show you something. The advantage of being on these things is, look at there. See that? That's a candle right straight from Nicole. I went to her website, tried out her order process, purchased a candle from her on Friday, and you know what? Today it came in the mail. So that was excellent service, and I was so happy that she did that. And so proud of Nicole. I want to help her keep her business growing. So she's got a checkout system at her website that worked absolutely perfectly. I'm real proud of her and doing a really good job. Last week we had the pleasure of meeting Sonia Guyton, who's in the home health and cleaning services business. Hopefully Sonia will be with us tonight at some point. But she's got a very demanding job, been doing it for a lot of years and looking forward to expanding it. Her business is 3P Solutions, LLC. She lives in the Craven County, but does all of her work in Pamlico County. And Tim, by golly, I'm so proud of you. Sent me some great photographs, and we've exchanged a lot of good ideas. Thank you for all that you're doing. Tim's in the repair mechanical business, working on trucks and heavy equipment. Shares his photos of a really nice shop that's ready to grow. And Tim's kind of a one-man show now, and it's kind of like I am. So I know what it is to try to grow a business when you're working by yourself. But I'm sure we'll get through that and offer a lot of different things. Tom Davis has been with us on every session, doing a great job at the website Dude. He's going to be in a position to help us get our websites up and running and has already volunteered to do it at a very reasonable price, as has Katie volunteered to help us. If you don't take advantage of these fellow entrepreneurs and associates, it's your fault. So this is ways you can get up and running. I encourage Tom to give me some real live pictures to show some personality. And man, he did a great job. Aren't those great pictures? This is the kind of photographs that I want you to have at your website so people will see that you're a human being, capable of laughing and smiling, someone that folks would consider it a pleasure to do business with. Tom has some other images like these at his website, which are cool, but they're cartoon characters. Bottom line is they might be funny to look at and make us smile, but they don't encourage you to call someone up and talk business. This kind of picture right here are the kind of pictures that encourage you to call up and say, hey, Tom, I'm enjoying your pictures. Tell me about the water you're on or share some events. Mike Davis has been coming to our seminars. I don't have a real picture of Mike. This is a file photo. He's in the auctioneer business, but I think he'll be sending us some stuff soon. So how about Keisha Powell? I am so proud of her. She's working hard. She's a busy mom, got so much to do. She is an active notary public and exploring a lot of options in other types of businesses, just adding to her forte with different skills. She's also helping a friend with Powell's Hand Wash and Detail. Got that business up and running and starting to grow it there in Bayboro. So I'm getting images from the internet and Facebook to share with you guys, and this is what networking is all about. If you don't have the images out there and the presence, then folks are not going to be able to find you. And how about Chuck? Chuck is on board with us tonight. Such a great fella. He is in the woodworking business. We had the pleasure to meet him at the webinars and has been coming to these. I'm so happy for him. He's a master craftsman for woodwork. You show him a picture of it, he can make it. Just really crafted and skilled. Now, this is the photographs that I was able to find of Chuck, the best photograph I could find of him, last week. But since last week, something has happened. Chuck has gotten into the marketing picture and actually did a really great video that he sent to me. It's in a form that I couldn't make it play live on here. It's not a YouTube, so we got to figure out how to convert it to YouTube to use it in a lot of places, including in these presentations. But Chuck goes through a nice welcome, well done, good voice, good presentation, a lot of smiling, shows several things that he makes, picks up it, gives it a personal note, encouraging people to do it. Got a good story about how his daughter encouraged him to make this and make that, and tells about all the different things he can make. There's a human being there, and it comes through so well in his video that people would feel very comfortable picking up the phone and say, Chuck, I want to send you a picture of something. And Chuck, your video really brings that message out really well. And you know what? He ends up just saying, you know, if you want it made, send me a picture of it, tell me about it, and I'll do it for you. But what I'm going to give you a hand for, he wrapped up his video with a by the way section, which was saying, and by the way, I've got this, this, and this, and I also have, I can make your breezes be musical, because I'll fabricate and manufacture heirloom wind chimes for you. Chuck, I added the word heirloom in there because that will raise the price of them up. Heirloom custom wind chimes where you put somebody's name on them or something like that. But I'm so proud of you for injecting that. And by the way, so in the next video, I want you to have some wind chimes that you can actually show and talk about them in your video, and a second by the way, so you can talk about that. Now, I'm noticing that you're big time in bird feeders here, and that will be a special area, a special niche market. Different profit center will be different types of bird feeders that you can name it your own and do some marketing there. So thank you for your efforts. That's a major move. Looking forward to seeing you go forward. Beverly, thank you for all that you do and for your very positive attitude. Over at Aurora, creating the Blue Crab, an artist in her own right, and also a great videographer that will be able to help us all with videos once she gets her store open. The Blue Crab is going to be a neat place, right and quiet. Aurora, be a spark plug over there that we hope. She's already marketing away with T-shirts and getting her name out there even before the store is open. Just working every day with her partner, making this old store that was kind of dilapidated, looked like a new storefront. Very proud of you. Our prayers and blessings are going with you. Christina, a pro, very active in the Aurora area, great marketing. We're going to learn a lot from Christina. Just a beautiful lady inside and out. Thank you for sharing things. She's got beauty products.
Steve, I'm so sorry to interrupt because Christina's stuff is great, but we have a few attendees that are trying to log on, and it's saying that it's full. And from my end,
lots and lots of other vendors move their products. So if you've got things to sell and you're looking for a way to sell them, make sure you talk to Christina about how to get them out there. So thank you for all that you're doing. If you want your business, if you want to start seeing previews of what your marketing program would look like, send me photos, send me information about your business, do your profit centers, do your vision statements. Let's get them out here, review them, and all of us work on them together, and we'll see what we can do. Already talked about the study guide, so get those at the session last Thursday night. All of us did videos. I'm looking forward to, Chuck, thank you for sending yours. Looking forward to getting a lot more. I want y'all to practice those real skills. Greetings from my family to your family. Again, I've been doing this for 63 years, since 1959. A lot of different kind of businesses through the years, and certainly glad to keep it going. So whatever you're doing, I have probably done it before. This is my home in Dunn, North Carolina. So our program tonight is about operating a home-based business. And that is exactly what I've been doing with my website, operating out of Dunn. This is basically what my office looks like. Lawson, you were talking about the backdrop behind me. This is what it looks like in front of me as I'm working it every day. But we'll talk about now how to get your home-based business started. Look, all we have is the hand that we're dealt, and I know that. So There's no reason to wish for any pie in the sky. We just have to take the assets and our situation and make it work. There's no such thing as a crystal ball that we can forecast the future and know what's going to happen. But let me tell you, you can get really close to it with a business plan and a marketing plan. It won't be as precise as reading tea leaves, but it's better than a crystal ball. That's why we want that business plan and marketing plan to help us move forward. And it's hard to get away from it, but the bottom line, we can't have a conversation about getting a business started without seeing how COVID is affecting us, do this and that. I can tell you that COVID has changed so many businesses, especially home-based and online. Why? Because twice as many people are shopping online now as they did before COVID came along.
Hey, Jonathan, it's Katie Shorter.
Katie, I don't mute your mic, okay? There we go. What happened? I'm sorry, something's going on here. A lot of things are going on, apparently. Well, we got some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
How about that? Is it back up?
Yeah, and I didn't touch my microphone, so I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. So
okay, we're good to go.
We're going to give some credit tonight to someone that I found on the internet. I try to improve every one of my presentations every time I present it a new time. And, of course, I do reading on the internet like everybody else. But I found an article that Randy here has shared a number of years ago that I just felt like it was so good that I wanted to share it. So we're thinking about getting a home business started. So let's just think basics now. What's the first thing that I want you to do? Let's decide on what products and services that your business will offer. That's fundamental. Let's decide on those products and services and make a menu of them, because the individual items will become our profit centers, and those profit centers will fit into the business plan, and we'll try to determine how much income they can bring to you. Decide the products and services that you're going to offer. Now, this isn't just I'm going to sell cars, or I'm going to sell jelly, or I'm going to sell whatnots at the novelty store. I want you to be more specific with that, and try to focus and narrow it down so that each one of your profit centers could possibly be aimed at a niche market. How do you know what that market is? Well, step 2 will be studying the market itself and your competition. Study what the market wants in the location that you're going to set up. Number 1, your home office or your bricks and mortar office, or the region that you're going to work in. What is in demand? Because no matter how good what you have is or what price tag you have on it, you need to know what the market is and who your competition is. So that's number 2 thing that we need to do when we're taking our steps. Do you have all the skills that it's going to take to get the job done that you need to do? And that's why it's so important that you stay in tune with the Small Business Center and with Katie and come to these webinars and seminars. It's free, and indeed, every time you come to one, you'll leave with another little nugget of information that'll help you have a more successful business. And it's free, so therefore, maybe it all doesn't apply to you, but you take away what you can, because myself and all the other instructors will try to make it interesting for everyone that's in attendance. So what skills do you need to enhance to make your thing go forward? In our additional webinars and seminars for the next 8 to 10 weeks on every Wednesday and Thursday night, each session will be focusing on some different skills. What do you need to do to change your office, to change your home, to make it work for you? What changes have to be made for you to have a home-based business, be it whether you're going to be on the internet or whether you're going to be inviting customers in or whether or not it's going to be your workshop. But let's make a list of what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Now, go ahead and carry this out about 6 months. Make a list of what changes you might need to make during the next 6 months. We'll call that business planner like we talked about last week. so that you can start making changes step by step and know that you're making some progress. There's a lot of risk and a lot of benefits to being in business, and there's a number of different legal forms that you might set up your business as. Most folks that are starting a corporation in today's world in small business, and I don't say it's up above 99% almost, are going in the way of LLCs. Small businesses, not earth-shaking revenues in the millions and billions, LLCs are good ways to start because they're fast, easy, doesn't require a lot of expertise, and easy to grow with it. So let's learn the different types of businesses that you might want to be. Katie can help you a lot with that, and I can be glad to send you lots of study guides. Did you know that there's 11 different types of corporations that you might consider? But of all those corporations, most of you will probably start out as a private entrepreneur, proprietor, or an LLC organization. So how about the legal requirements that's needed to run your business at home? And it will vary a lot at home versus having a bricks and mortar store. It will vary a lot whether or not you have a .com company that you're operating from home versus a store. All the different types will require different types of settings. As long as you're keeping it simple, not exposing yourself to lots of liabilities, then the answers to these questions are probably not going to be too difficult to carry. But there are times now that the lawyer has to be contacted. There are times that you have to contact the CPA, because folks like me who tell you right up front that I'm not a lawyer or a CPA, and Katie will tell you that for sure as well, no matter how many degrees or PhDs or how many seminars I've given, things are changing and professionals keep up with the changes. So when you start into a serious, larger business and you feel like that it's time to get down to the legal requirements, then you may need some professional help. And we can help put you in touch with folks that would give that to you. What are the insurance needs for your business? You're bringing in a whole different set of factors when you bring in your business needs to your home base. What I did, and I'll show you some pictures later, when I bought these computers and printers and all types of audio and lighting equipment and backdrops and racks to hang the backdrops on and more materials. I upped the ante here in my office to probably about $25,000. And therefore, if my outside building burns down or is destroyed, that special stuff would not be covered. So I had to get in touch with Allstate and list down the things that are related to my business. And it cost me a little bit of money, but it was a very little bit additional premium for the satisfaction that I got. How much startup costs are you don't have to spend? And I know this is a guess. I know it's a guess, but it's time to start guessing and putting some numbers down, because our business plan and our funding will need to be in balance with what our startup costs are so that it will be successful. The biggest mistake that a lot of businesses make is they get up and running and then don't have enough money in the bank to get it rolling, to keep it going. It would be like spending all your money on a new truck and not saving enough to have fuel to put in it. So let's think about it up front, and that's what our business plans will do. And then we'll determine what our funding sources are big. So if I'd ask you right now, you're getting ready to start, how much money are you going to have to spend to get your business up and running? And here's the key: during the next 6 months. You see, I know we can't answer all these questions at one time, but I also want to encourage you to look at a planning calendar like we talked about last week and map out and take it one step at a time. Now, our business plan is going to give us a good idea about how much income may be coming in and how much expense may be going out. That's what we do with our models, with our income models and our expense models. That'll be part of your business plan. And so starting a home business, we need to think about what's our possibilities. Now, I'll share with you, we talked last week about the 3 different kinds of profit centers: bring in new business, have some repeat business, and big ticket items. I'll share with you that maybe 15 years ago, I added a couple of products to my product line to create big ticket sales. And I've had a little bit of interest on the lesser things in the $5,000 and $7,000 and $8,000 range. But this week, after 15 years of marketing the more expensive models, I was able to land a $45,000 order. Largest single order that I've landed since I've been in my .com business. Well, the third largest. But 45 grand is a big order for old Steve-O. And I wouldn't have had that big ticket deposit if I hadn't marketed and said there's a possibility. So right here's where I want to say, it links it into our business planning. Think about your big ticket possibilities. I feel better about saying this to you than I ever have before. Because when we sell this piece of equipment, I don't take videos of it, and then I don't really be able to start promoting it to other customers in the area and use it as a niche market. So know that it does work and it does make a difference. Sometimes this is a real happy subject and sometimes it's not. We have to know how much support that you're going to get from your family to get your business started, especially if you're going to be operating it at home. Does this mean that the children don't have to not play in certain rooms? Does this mean that you don't have to turn the TVs off or be outside or do this or that? What's the family support of your business? The biggest thing here I want to recommend to you is that you think about it, you talk to someone that's maybe doing it that can give you ideas of what the effects are going to be. And we'll go through some of that tonight. And then you talk to your family about it and just don't surprise them. Let them know it's not a surprise and what you're thinking you're going to do. And then ask them how they can help you. Now, you'll have to gauge whether or not you don't have enough support that you want to go forward. And sometimes it don't work for a number of different reasons. I'm encouraging you to stay positive, talk to your folks, and let's figure out a way to make it work. Now, at the website here that the gentleman offered, and that web address is in your handouts, they've got some really good individual articles for anyone starting a business at home that covers the bases very much in depth. So I want to encourage you not only to pay a lot of attention to my handouts that I'm sharing with you, but if you've got some particular areas like are shown here, you can go to these different web pages and get lots and lots of more in-depth operation that may apply to your particular situation. I highly recommend it. I've read them all myself and feel good about recommending them to you. So, starting a home-based business right now. What are the questions and blocks you need to check before you begin? You want to do it, but what do you need to check before you begin? 1, can you live and work in the same space? Only you can answer that. Only you can answer that, or you don't need to make some major changes so you'll have a separate space to run your business in. Maybe you've got a big den and a place you can set up your desk, but there's so much going on in there that you never have any privacy to talk to customers or other things or to focus on what you're doing. You got to make that determination and make the changes that you need to do. Where will be your space at home? Where will that space be? And what adjustments are you and other folks going to have to make this space work? Now, when it's time after you've been in business and it's time to do your taxes and you want to take a tax credit for your office expenses that you're paying out of your house, this is where this space is and how you handle it. It's going to become a very important factor. So think about that real seriously, and when we do the business plan, we'll make allowances for that. What are you going to be selling? As we mentioned earlier, 3 things. You're going to be selling products or services or some of each. Products or services or some of each. Do you have the skill sets that are needed right now to make it happen? Can you get your website up and running? Do you know how to do your marketing plan? Do you know how to negotiate and forecast? Do you know all about fair market value and how to merchandise? Well, if you don't, it's okay, because none of us are born with those skills. And it's okay, by golly, for you to come to the webinars and seminars and start enhancing your skills. That's why we're offering it at no charge at all. How important is the internet going to be for your business? Well, it's 2022, and it seems like everything, one way or the other, is hinging on the internet one way or the other. 85% of the people that find you when they're shopping will do it on their telephone. And let me tell you, the images that they see on the telephone will be coming on that phone screen through your website and through the internet. So you might say, no, my business will be related to the telephone and not to the internet. It don't work that way because the internet is in all of it. We're going to make some money. I know you are. But when you make money, there's always risk involved. So let's talk about listing down the risk factors that are going to be involved with your new business. And the rubber meets the asphalt right here, because some of you have a really good job right now and you're just thinking about adding a home-based business to improve your personal income. Maybe take a hobby and turn this hobby that you're doing at home into a business, kind of like Chuck has been talking about doing. And there's a point when you have to say, do I want to just improve my hobby skills and see if I can make a few dollars with them? I don't want to get stressed out because I'm pretty good like it is, but I would like to take it to the next level. Then I have to ask you, how many hours a day or how many hours per week are you going to give to your new business? Because giving time to the business, not only maybe making products, but also selling products is real important. And when we know those hours, we're going to know how much money you need to be generating per hour. You got to be honest with yourself here so that we know how to write this business plan that doesn't give you so much rope that you hang yourself. All this is strategic planning. It's more than just wishing in the wind or taking down a few notes. I'm going to put the word strategic in here and strategy in here because that's when we start taking it serious. You're here tonight, and I congratulate you, and we're so honored to be a part of your journey. So it is a good sign that you're ready to go to some strategic strategy. And working with your handouts and working online, that's what we want to do. Let's build a strategy for 2022. Basically, we can't do everything just right, but there are five manageable issues that help us keep the doors open, hold on to key employees, retain customers, and find new customers. So we can't do the whole world tonight, but we can focus on five manageable issues. So let's start there. And then I cut them down to three. How about that? And the other two will come up later. But the main three of the five are money management and cash flow, marketing and sales, and priorities. Actually, this was five before. I included cash flow into money management and marketing into sales, and priority stands alone, mainly because we're doing an hour and a half tonight instead of 2 hours. So number one, money management. And maybe the reason you're starting a home-based business is you're having trouble paying your bills now. And your sole interest is to create more income to give you some breathing room to help you pay your bills. So in money management, what's the first thing we need to do if we're first getting started? And I've done this all through the years with someone getting ready to start a business. I ask them to list down your fixed expenses. In other words, I want you to know what has to be paid. You need to put a priority on those, including taxes and rent. If you don't have some staff, these are bills that have to be paid, priority bills. So you need to know that and have a dollar figure on that. Now, this is your personal income and personal household because you're going to be funding your business if you have it at home. So it's going to have to come into play. What are those personal expenses, those fixed expenses? These bills have to be paid. And if you're going to be in business, you do not want to be late on paying them. So here's where I bring in, when you start your own business and you're going to go out here in the world and start looking for funding or buying from vendors, your credit score and your credit history are going to become very, very more important than they are today when you're not starting a business. So let's see what you have to do about getting current on your fixed expenses. Let's get current on your fixed expenses and don't wait. If you're behind on some of these people that you've got to have to help you move forward and you haven't contacted them and made up a payment plan, I'm going to encourage you to give them a call. A creditor will always be happy to work with you as long as you're trying to work out of it, if they're a good businessman, because they know that people they work with will stay with them a long time after they get through the rough patch. But you need to get your fixed expenses paid. Now, your variable expenses, that's the things that maybe you just don't have to buy. Let's make a list of those as well, because you're going to have to do some picking and choosing when you start funding these new parts, your new things that you're going to have to do to get your business up and running. So you will probably change some of your variable expenses and start spending money to help get your business started versus maybe some nights out or some restaurant foods or expensive meat cuts or some things that you're doing for entertainment. If you're on a tight budget now, then it's going to become tighter. So let's just be realistic about it. And this is an area that you would want to talk with your family or your spouse about. Okay, let's talk about now. We're going to start, and we need positive cash flow. We need money coming in and a structured plan how to do it. How do you structure a plan to have money coming in? You add marketable profit centers. How do you get money to start coming in? You just keep adding marketable profit centers. Just like when I mentioned to Chuck, that yes, Chuck, building everything is cool, but that's being all things to all people. But if you have special wind chimes or special bird feeders or special this or that, those are marketable profit centers that will bring additional income in and not hurt your other business, but help you have some big ticket items as well. So if we want more money, we got to find new and additional finance sources. Now, I've got a list of 500 different businesses and profit centers I'll be glad to email to you. Maybe you will pick up an idea of something you can do in your business to help you move forward. Okay, we've just been kind of sitting back, thinking about everything's going to be cool, but without really applying some creativity to what you're doing. That's why I'm so happy that Chuck and Christina and Bev are all working hard to do some new things, to put some new images out there, to give us some new color in things that we're doing. I even broke out a red cup tonight. What are you doing that's new creativity? What is dramatic that you're doing? What drama are you bringing to your new business? Make it exciting not only for you, but for your potential customers. Money management is always going to come back to credit lines and credit cards. And maybe you can't have a credit line, but possibly you can get some credit cards. I don't want you to run any credit bills up, but I do want you to have available credit lines so you can take advantage of good opportunities that come your way. And if you've got 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 credit cards that are active, but you're not using them, then I want you to start using them a small amount a month, $10 or $20. Use each card a little bit, and as soon as that bill comes in, you send a check in and pay it off. That will help your credit score start working up right now. But take advantage of credit lines and credit cards. I use that extensively. One of my most important credit lines is with Wells Fargo Bank. And it's set up on like a credit card account, even though it's a business account. Instant access to money as I need it. And today I saw one of my product lines, we're getting a severe shortage on them. Inventories are going low, and I'm selling a lot of them. So I called my vendor up, used my credit line, and bought 2 or 3 of those models to put in my inventory so that as customers need them, I'll have something to sell, and my customers will have an empty basket. That is strategic planning, having what you need to take advantage of situations when they come along. Now, on your credit cards, if you don't use them, you will lose them. More and more banks will cancel your credit card or reduce the limits on it. So again, that's why it's important to use your credit lines and use your credit cards. Small amount, pay them off the first day that they're due so that will increase your credit score. Even with small purchases, use them or lose them. Now, marketing and sales. I want to look at pretty much 5 local marketing ideas for small businesses based at home. The main 5 keys that will help you move forward and to study and to understand with your home-based business is understanding SEO. Search engine optimization will help you put the right keywords in your content for your websites and web pages. That will help you so much help customers find you. So SEO needs to become a part of your DNA now, where you're going to start reading and learning more about it. It is one of the study habits. Understanding how social media can help your business grow. I want you to focus on Facebook with a personal page and a business page, strictly on how it can help your business. Now, next week and the week after, we'll be talking about marketing big time. Next week is marketing in general, and the week after is how to use marketing tools. It is really important that you're with us on Wednesday and Thursday night. Maybe two of the most important lessons that we'll have will be on the Thursday night lessons. So please plan to be there to help us get into the marketing plan. Start now doing some guest speaking. Start now, since you're a home-based business, getting your image out in your community. Just like Chuck did, get your image out on your videos. Maybe your skill levels are to the point, or your teaching abilities, that you can actually become a guest speaker or presenter or a teacher showing people how to improve their skills. Doing exactly what I'm doing. Whether you're working for the small business centers or other places, or just at your own websites or doing blogs, that is a perfect way to start showing the world that you're here and alive and you know what you're doing. When you're ready to launch your business, there's a thing called press releases for publicity. Lots of different tricks of that trade in marketing. We'll talk about those some in future seminars. But know what a press release is and how to use it. And again, for so many times, videos is what's happening now to help move your business forward. Make sure that you are in a position that you know how to communicate clearly and consistently with your customers. I can tell you that I serve customers nationwide, and several times every day I'll have a customer that's calling me and trying to communicate with me, and because of their dialect, the words that they use, talking so fast, or just putting words in different places, sometimes it's really hard. So learning, if you're not used to it, it can become frustrating for you. So I'll encourage you to think about your communication skills. Excuse me. Think about how you can speak and do you understand what folks are saying to you, how you can improve that. And let me tell you that learning how to send emails and doing your texting and writing letters, doing presentations like we're doing now, there's a lot of different ways that you can help your communication skills. Now, these PowerPoints, y'all may get tired of them, and there's no doubt they can become boring. I know that. I try to keep them interested. But it is an excellent way that my voice may be saying one thing, and you may be reading something different on the screen. The PowerPoints give you the advantage of a better chance of getting your message out there. So this is going to be true even if you're doing a video. We'll have slides that will be giving text messages in the videos to help them become more impressive. How are your communication skills, and what do we need to do to make them work better? Maybe you have a speech impairment. That's a big time problem. But you know, I want to say to you, maybe you have a speech impairment. That is a big time opportunity, because ever how that works out, we can find a way that you can be proud of yourself, and other people will be very pleased to be able to do business with you. Be proud of who you are and what you're dealing with, because there are plenty of other people out there that will try to do their best to help you along the way. So whatever it is, voice, vision, other communication issues, lay it on the table, talk to Katie about it, be honest with yourself, and then let's work towards doing a fix. You are going to have email newsletters. There's no getting around it. If you're going to promote your new home-based business, email marketing is going to be a very important part of what you need to do. So just accept that. And to do email marketing, I want to tell you that it's very difficult and close to impossible for you to do it effectively on a telephone. I can say to you that having a laptop is a grand idea, and I want you to have a laptop with a big enough screen that maybe you can put two sheets or 2 pages on that screen. I want to hasten to say that I know that if you can have one, is to get a desktop with 2 large monitors will make a huge difference in your ability to do a larger volume of work. You'll be able to get 3 to 4 times as much work done in a day's time with 2 large screens versus just working with 1 small one on your laptop. And yes, you can have a laptop, and then you can add an additional screen to work along with your laptop. I've seen some people actually with 2 extra screens. That becomes a little confusing to me, but some folks, that's what they do. Why? Because you're going to have your email database list here and your email coming in and out over here. And I want you to be able to copy and paste off of one file and reach right over very easily and add those names and addresses to your database. So it's done quickly and without effort. That way you can start growing your database every day. I add on average 12 new email addresses a day. During the last couple of weeks, I've been adding about 20 email addresses a day, 100 a week. Over a week's work, 6 days, that's 600 email addresses I'm adding to my database. Therefore, when I do a marketing campaign, so many more people are getting the message. And how much does that cost? Zip. But that gives you the ability to start growing your customer base and your Raven fan customer base. Priorities now, number 3. The 3 must-dos. I know I'm saying you need to do this and you got to do that and what's that. And I'm not trying to be a preacher or demand things of you, but I am trying to motivate you because I know these things in my life and in my business to have everything to do with success and keeping the ball rolling. Some days are going to be slow. You won't get any business, but if you're doing these priorities, I'm going to tell you that the chances of your business stopping to a grinding stop are nil. So first of all, figure out a way to deliver your services and products. COVID is kind of backing off, but people have really come to love pickups, takeouts, and personal deliveries. People have really come to love and understand now that through the U.S. mail, they can guarantee you 3 days in a flat rate box at a reasonable cost. So whether you're going to be doing pizza or salads or cosmetics, whether you're going to be doing yoga classes or mowing or whatever, think about your delivery system and how to make it most effective and most profitable. Give that some serious thought. Create upsells. And by the way, I've got this and I've got that. Where are your upsell opportunities? So as you do the 5 profit centers that I'm asking you to list down on your menu, the 5 profit centers, one of 3 different types, list them down, and with each one, think about what you can plan and forecast to become an upsell opportunity for those items. Now, Nicole has done a really good job by doing that, and Christina has done a really good job about doing that. As you look at their presentations, they'll tell you one thing they're doing and also mention to you these other items that will more complete your sale. And on the priorities, do not set your business up as a take it or leave it marketing pricing message. We're doing the pricing as we talked about in our presentation number 1, and we'll talk about this a lot more in week 3 and 4 coming up. As we're doing our pricing, take it or leave it needs to go away. Don't do this. When we're marketing our products and setting our advertised selling prices, we're always going to leave room to do some discounting and some negotiating. We're going to leave room to make some profit even if we do discount, because I don't want you to give any discounts that you don't plan to give. And that's the secret to staying in business. Pricing high to begin with so you can take advantage of those customers that will pay a higher price, but leave some negotiating room to take advantage of those customers that either want to negotiate a little bit or want a sale price. You do that with the way you set up your pricing structure. And there's nowhere in here that I don't recommend that you have take it or leave it in your pricing. Focusing. Focusing is a key. Our mindset, I've got your attention tonight, and I appreciate you staying with us. Your mindset is so critical. We all have busy days. Maybe you had a tooth pulled, or maybe you're on pain medicine, and the kids are raising Cain, and the dogs are barking. But there's a time that we just have to shut it down and focus on what our demands are, and that's where you need to find that inner strength to make it happen. Understand and think about what the real needs of the people are in your area. And like if you're down in Pamlico County, maybe the folks up in Aurora have a different set of needs than the people over in Olympia. And the folks over at Bridgeton, right across the water from Newbern, they may have some different items that's really hot over there. And of course, Arapahoe, on the way to all the camps, they got a lot of traffic there through the woods, but there are markets there that are important. And then there's the beach area at Minnesota Beach, and where the ferry goes across. Oriental is a separate place altogether. It's a really neat community, mainly retirement community, all about nautical, all about fishing. So what works in Oriental may not work in Merritt. So think about the different communities that you're working with. I had the opportunity to week to Aurora and that Google gives to us for everyone. Every person that's getting ready to start a new business can benefit from knowing the local demographics of your community that, number one, you're located in, or number two, where you would like to go start selling. Demographics of every community, what the average ages are, different information about family and singles. It'll tell you about the housing, the real estate, and the employment income and earnings. There's a treasure trove of information here. Let's say that you are thinking about in Pamlico County going and starting to set up a booth or send some marketing directions into a certain area by zip code. For example, let's say you're using Facebook and you're going to tell Facebook to send all your ads to a particular community. Well, before you do that, all you got to do is type in that zip code and see actually how many people are there, and maybe determine whether or not it's the place that you want to send your money. Now, here's a little key. Sometimes that works both ways. Sometimes there's a great big population, and you're trying to be all things to all people, it's a disadvantage. But other times, if there's a small population in your niche market, then you can start studying on how you can reach that particular niche market and get the majority of that business. I've done that through the years with certain types of implements, and I know how important it is. That Google demographics, I give you the income levels. It'll just do a world of work for you. Now, this is a do-it-yourself little segment that I've just added in here, because if you're setting up your business as a .com business, and I suggest that if you want people to find you through your website, that you can have your legal business name, like my business name is Fast Forward Services Incorporated, but my main .com name is carverequipment.com. So if you are a .com business, then Google is not going to let you have a Google My Business account unless you take some steps. And it's pretty frustrating. I've been through it now for about 3 years, but finally qualified. I was so stubborn, I wouldn't listen to what people were telling me, but I went through this thing. So let's talk about that. One, you don't have a home-based business. If it's mainly an internet business, then use the DBA, KatieShorterJewelry.com. And when you say .com, that means that you don't have an official site other than the landing page. It's your web page, and Google My Business will not let you have an account with them as a .com business unless you take some steps. So let's talk about the steps that you might want to take. So here's old Steve and Norma's house and Otis and 5 cats. My actual business is out here in this side office. That's where I conduct my business. And Otis is doing guard duty here. You see him. So this is my home office out here across the way from the carport. When Google is determining if you can qualify as a .com business, one thing they're going to tell you to do is we need to see a business card that says your .com name on it, reinforces the phone number that you're going to use at your Google My Business account. But most importantly, that business card needs to show your home address on it, because that's what they're going to use on the account. Most people that's got .com businesses do not have a business card that shows their home address. I've got 5 other business cards that I don't have that on it because I don't particularly want it to be there. However, to satisfy Google, I printed off some business cards myself so I would have them to show to them. So this is what I did for my qualification, okay? Business card that shows your home address if you don't do a .com. Also, they require that you have a sign at the house, a sign at this address that you're doing. So I went to my local vinyl shop, sign shop, and had them print up a sign for me, carverequipment.com, with the phone number. It's 36 inches long, and put it up on the fence. And when Google came with a video conference to see if they could check off all the blocks, that was perfectly fine with them. Now, in Dunn, North Carolina, in a residential section, it's against the zoning laws for me to have this sign up. So I made it temporary that I could put it up for the photos, and then after it was over with, take it back down. You may be facing that issue too. So whether you're just going to put a yard sign in the yard or have a fence on the wall, Google's going to ask you to have some type of sign at the location where you're saying the .com company is located. They also want you to show them a picture of your door and indicate that you are official business, and people coming in and out of your office will see the names of your businesses. Now, I was qualifying Fast Forward Services and CarverEquipment.com at the same time. And Otis there is looking at everybody. So that was a very inexpensive sign. I got it at the vinyl shop when I got the others. They also will ask you to lay out some tools to prove that you're doing some business. So I put out some hand tools on the table. They're not very picky, just a little display of different tools that I might use in my business, and took a picture of that, laid it out on the table, because the way they qualify you is you walk around with your phone and do a FaceTime interview and survey with them. So I just showed them that, and that was just fine with them. I've got a little shop in my office. Took them back there, showed them the shop, and that made them happy. They said that was just fine. But it's not necessary. The shop is not necessary, but you will need to show them some tools that you're using. Now, this is my office when the backdrops are not here. I've got a lot of frames with a lot of different backdrops. They were very interested in that because it pretty much showed that I was an online company serving a lot of different folks, different ways. On the other side of this, I've got special lighting and audio equipment to make it work. And again, just being very honest about my working desk here. So you don't have to be real fancy with Google, but you just have to be honest and show them what you have that you're working with. So we went through all that process, and now I've got my CarverEquipment.com Google My Business account up. It is showing my home address here, but when you click on that photo, it goes to a lot of other photos showing all the different things that we have. The beauty of Google My Business is you can have an unlimited group of photos showing all your profit centers and different messages you want to send. And you know, when you're on Google and you type in a search term and you hit images and all the images come up, well, those images come from the people that have Google My Business accounts. So now if someone types in a Farm Max or Ford disc mower, right here, this image will come up on that line. So this is a huge, huge way to get a lot of free marketing information out there just through your Google My Business account. Is there a cost here? I don't think there's a penny. If it is, it's very, very, very low. So how about your dreams and goals? Are you ready to set the priorities to make it happen? Because a dream can come true if indeed it's tied to your goals. There's no doubt. Ask yourself and answer, What is the revenue goal for my home-based business per month? What is the revenue goal I need to bring in either as total sales or as profitability during the month? $500, $5,000, $10,000, $80,000. Makes no difference to me what it is, but you need to have a goal so that we can work towards it. How do we work towards it? We start putting together a business plan with enough profit centers and thinking about the potential income that will eventually get there. Maybe the first month is 500 and then it might increase up to another line. I want to encourage you to go ahead and set those goals so that you'll be realistic moving forward. How many hours are you going to work to try to make those goals work? That's up to you to think about that. What are the most two important questions that are related to the marketing, which we're going to focus on big time during the rest of the series? I want to give you a number of 6.5%. That is a good, reasonable goal of how much money you should spend if indeed you want to sell a product, retail a product. So if your goal is to retail $20,000 worth of material, I want to say when we're doing our marketing plan next week that we will be thinking about, let's set a $1,300 budget, 6.5% of our goal, as a reasonable place to start planning. So $1,300 might be advertising, it might be business cards, it might be you're buying your computer, it might be you're buying software or backdrops. But know that to make money, you're going to need to invest some money. And this investment may become one of your startup costs that we have to try to figure out how to bill for you. It's not going to come free. We can have a plan. In week 5, we're going to talk about how to fund and fundraise and maybe build up some revenues to help your business get started without going into debt. If your goal is to produce $20,000 per month, and you're going to work 40 hours a week, but 20 hours of that week is actually producing income, is actually selling products. So we have to determine just because you're on the job doesn't mean that you're actually doing the job that's selling equipment. So if you're doing 20 hours a week for 4.3 weeks, which is a month, that means you're going to be working 86 hours to produce income. What are you going to need to do? Every hour, produce $232 of income. That's right. When we know what your goal is and we know what your time that you're going to put in it, then we can figure out how to build that business plan up so that you'll be making the money you need to do it. We got to figure out the profits. It all gets down to the pennies and dimes and dollars. Got to figure it out. How much will people pay you for your services? How are you going to price your products? How are you going to price your service? And can you make a good income doing that? If it's a hobby that you're moving towards a business, this may be a slow process and it may be a long learning curve. But when we take it serious as a business, as a home-based business, then it's important. So how do the tax people look at your home-based business? When do they consider it a business versus a hobby? Yeah, maybe you want to call it a business so you can take deductions, or maybe you want to call it a hobby so you don't have to show income. Well, you can't have it both ways. You can flirt around with it a little bit, but once you get your business up and running, it needs to be one or the other. But the IRS, I'm told, considers it that you have turned your hobby into a business when your family income, when your personal well-being, your living, housing, automobiles, when you're paying a major portion of your living expenses with this business, with this hobby you've turned into a business, then you can consider it a business. And you can take deductions for all the things that you're putting into it. However, as you're growing this business, even though maybe it hadn't got to that point, it's important that you keep up with how much investments you're making in this hobby to make it become a business. Because at some point in time, you're going to be able to declare those investments as a loan that you made to your company. The investments you make starting your home-based business, you need to keep up with those. Computers, tools, cars, marketing, classing, keep up with all your expenses, because when you do your business plan, you're going to put those in there, and that's money that you have loaned your company. And guess what? Someday your company gets to pay you back with interest. And the loan that you make can come back to you tax-free, not taxable. The interest that you will make on it, it would be taxable, but it's taxable to you, but it's a write-off for the company. So keep up with all your expenses. Make a note on them, because one day they're going to be very, very important. Last week we talked about, and in your handout is what we call our do-it-yourself business planner, how to start your business and do it. So spend some time looking at those handouts that we covered in depth last week, and look forward to ask questions from me or Katie if you have any questions. But there's some good information in there that you can start doing your business plan right now. In every one of our Wednesday night sessions, we'll talk about something about the business plan and something about the marketing. Katie, you have something? No sound.
I was just coming back on to say hi. At the very end, I had an announcement, a very short announcement.
All righty, thank you. Okay, we don't need a business plan where you list down, you can take this graphic that we've got and start penciling in your ideas about what might apply to your home-based business versus not. And this will be in a place where you start guessing. Yeah, I use the word guessing because that's all you can do when you're first getting started is estimate, but it's where you're going to do to come up with what's left. Why have a business plan? It helps you know where you're headed before you invest your money. It helps you know what time and talents you're going to need. It helps you know if you're going to need some investors to help you away, and it will document the path that you're on to see if you're making progress. Mainly, though, it's going to help you avoid pitfalls and unexpected expenses. A business plan will help you become legal, corporate or not. It's going to help you get that federal ID number and a business registration license. So let me share with you, these are all really important. And if you're in the Pamlico area and can set up an appointment with Katie, she is an expert and knows all there is to know about how to help you get all these things done, and is ready, willing, and ready to help you. So give her a call, please. Set up an appointment and take advantage of the services there. You need to work through the zoning and sign issues. You need to have risk management tools in place. Now, homework, I want you to do a vision statement and a mission statement, because you will use that in your marketing. And let's determine what your startup costs are going to be. All this is an effort to figure out what's left. What's left after we estimate the income and subtract the expenses. Let's keep it simple. I don't want you to catch analysis paralysis here. And as you go through the handouts, you'll see that doing these small business models is an easy way to do it, and we'll certainly try to help you any way that we can otherwise. Your business plan will basically come down to this. See how important the different profit centers are, the different types? You'll want to have profit centers to increase daily traffic. Those that bring in new customers. Those that bring in high margins, like I mentioned. If you don't plan to make high margins, they won't come in. You'll want to have some big ticket sales. And after we estimate all of our income, then we're going to estimate our expenses with different small models, plug those in, and then we're going to know what's left at the end of the day. I want this what's left at the end of the day, or at the end of the week or the month, to be your goal, to be your income, or the goal that you set to begin with. And if it doesn't come up to par, what do we need to do? Throw the plan away? No. We need to go back and change the plan. Add profit centers, cut expenses, figure out a way to make more money. But keep the plan in place, because it's going to be changing all the way through. You don't just write a business plan. You write it, then you rewrite it and rewrite it. So look forward to doing that. Important right now, so where are those right customers for you? Who are the customers in your home-based business that you can start out with in week one and start making some sales? Who are your friends, folks that you know that would want this? What groups of targeted people do we need to spend money on sending ads to? We want that low-hanging and ripe fruit. That's the people we want to start with to get those in first. Folks that we have common denominators with. This week, I can tell you that I've already had probably 4 different customers that sent me email or called in and mentioned about me being a veteran, or mentioned about me being a cancer survivor, or mentioned that I'm a Shriner. When you give people on your website and on your pages the information that they can find common denominators with, then those people are going to want to talk to you instead of everybody else on the internet. So even with the home-based business, this is just as important as it is with any other type of business. After we get the low-hanging fruit down pat, I got to say to you, it's going to be time to move on and think big, to reach out, to help more customers find us. But to start with, if your company's in just beginning, let's focus on the low-hanging fruit, get that down pat. After we got that mastered, then we're going to go big and go out for the rest of it. What is your marketing plan? Now, Bayboro is right here on this map in Pamlico County. There's a lot of area up here in eastern North Carolina. Greenville, Elizabeth City, a lot of territory up here. A lot of territory, but only a few population centers. So are you going to spend your money trying to cover this whole area with marketing and advertising? Or are you going to be smart and figure out a way to send your money to the population areas where you're going to have the best chance to get a good return on investment? Or you don't get to be more of something. For example, in the Oriental area, and if your niche market is sailing craft and outfitting sailboats, then Oriental would become a prime target for you for a niche market, even though there's just a few people there compared to Greenville or Washington or some of the other towns. Every situation is going to be different depending on what you're doing. Also, maybe what you're doing is about fishing or the resorts or traveling people. So when we know what your profit centers are, we'll be able to help you do a marketing plan. And if your business is focused in neighborhoods, let's say that you're going to have a cleaning business or a mowing business or a pressure washing business, then we would draw circles in certain neighborhoods and just address those to begin with before we start branching out. Save a ton of money by doing that and get our business up and running right away. Your marketing plan is going to be critical and important. Next week, next Thursday night, Martin will be here helping start the conversation. And then the following Thursdays, the next 2 Thursday night, I'll be back on board here with you, and I really want you to attend and be ready to pay attention, because we're going to start putting your marketing plans together to help you start making some money. What should that marketing plan tell you? What's next? What business should be coming your way for the next 6 months? So we're here at May 11, and I want you to have a calendar in front of you with some target dates of things that you want to achieve during the next 6 months, and then for all of us to try to figure out a way to make it happen. Email these calendars or your targets to me. I'll be happy to work with you, give you feedback, and Katie will as well. Please stay in touch with her. You're here tonight, so you're starting your learning process. Thank you very much. We're proud of you, and we're very pleased to be with you on this journey. What business skills do you need to enhance? Write them down. Let us know. If we need to add some webinars or seminars to help you with particular skills, we'll do it. Let's do that marketing plan and learning the difference in marketing and advertising. I want you to master upselling. And Chuck just made my day when I was looking at that video today, and he ended up his last frame in his video by saying, and by the way, we've got this and this and this. That is fantastic. That is huge. That is doubling and tripling your business opportunities when you're able to do more upselling. I really want to encourage you to always keep the ball on standards. And those of y'all that we've been in face-to-face class, it's so evident that you're doing that. And those of y'all that keep coming and joining us for these webinars, be professional. I didn't say be stuffy. I didn't say be a know-it-all, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. find the talents that you need, the right standards for talent and customer service and hospitality. Be glad to welcome people to your business and the conversations. Business success is related to relationships. And we must be able to have a relationship with whoever comes along if that's what they're after and wanting it. Are you skilled enough to handle that? And it's a challenge sometimes. And how's your housekeeping? We need to do some cleaning up. Yeah, even at a home-based business, we have to do some cleaning up with our email and with our diction and our spelling. And Katie keeps spanking me with the grammar errors I have in my handout. So I officially say I'm sorry, Katie. I'll try to do better. But these handouts have got to go out, and I don't try to do that. So I'll do better housekeeping with my handouts. Here's your line.
I'll do it for you.
What are the revenue sources going to be of your business? We cannot get your business plan rocking and rolling until we know your potential revenue sources. And also, when we know that, we're going to know what your advertising budget will probably be at about 6.5%. You got to make some changes, making it happen to jumpstart and restart your business. You got to make it happen. Now, do you have high-speed internet service at home? And I know in a lot of rural regions in eastern North Carolina, this is not a possibility. And if that's the case, I want you to see what the possibilities are, because it can make so much difference if you're going to run a high-volume internet business, sending lots of email and videos in and out, have a powerful computer. Let's get the best internet service that you can. You don't need a credit card. And I want you to have really a business credit card that can serve as your kind of line of credit, but you will need that when you're doing business with the banks and Google My Business and with Facebook. So if you don't have that, it's time to do it. Let's do that business introduction speech. Chuck did it and put it in the form of a video. Thank you, Chuck. I want each and every one of you to write a business introduction speech in writing and practice saying it. Then I want you to practice saying it in a video with your telephone and make a video recording of you giving a business introduction speech. And then I want you to email it to me. If possible, convert it to YouTube. But if you can't, send it to me as an MP4 file, and we'll try to figure out a way to watch it and share it. And listen, every one you do will be a better one. Activate your Facebook page, your business page, and your Google My Business account. Are things just right? Never. Are things about as right as they can get? Absolutely. Let your candle shine. Let your candle shine, okay? Let's make it happen, all of you. I love you. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you next week. And we're going to give it over to Katie now. Thank you so much.
I didn't want everybody to dash just yet. Very quickly, any of you that are currently in a small business, know a small business owner, maybe your spouse is a small business owner, make sure they know about phase 2 of this business recovery grant that's come down the pike from the North Carolina Department of Revenue. It is very, very inclusive. There's $200 million on the table. So many, many businesses that could not qualify this time around are qualifying. We're talking about barbers, masseuses, gyms, hardware stores, pharmacists, and so I will be posting on our Facebook page information to a webinar that's going on, free webinar next week through the SBC. That's number one. Number two, when Steve was talking about, we were chatting a little bit about SEO optimization. When you decide, and most of you have already decided what website platform you're going to use because you're going to be doing e-commerce, or if you haven't, make sure that whatever website platform you use does do e-commerce if you're going to be exchanging funds via the site. Any website platform that has that does have search engine optimization built in, but it's just a default level. It is not, you put in your keywords. It doesn't work as hard for you as understanding your Google business profile, for example. So, and also the videos that Steve was talking about, you don't have to hire some YouTube for his homework. Don't let anything be. Look what people put on TikTok. It's not high quality. Steve just wants you to tell your story, and as he just said, the more people know about you, the more they can relate to you, and it humanizes you, and it makes you accessible. So just use your phone, turn it around, and video something easy, right, and send it his way. It's just taking the first step. That's it.
Let's just go straight to the final society. We're going to keep our shutters, keep our doors.
We've got the mics on now, so if y'all would like to make some comments, we'd be glad to hear from you. And also turn your videos on if you'd like. Hey, Keisha, I see you have joined us. I hope my audio and video wasn't so bad that y'all couldn't hear me tonight. Katie, in the end, did it improve any? Can't hear you. Okay.
It did.
Good. Chuck, thank you again for what you sent to me. Who wants to have something to say?
I have a question.
Okay, Madonna.
No, I just wanted to this is my very first class. I didn't have any expectations at all, but oh my gosh, this was so informative. The presentation, the delivery, the amount of information, I don't feel my brain is going to explode, and I really feel like I can move forward in a good direction now.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Madonna. We pack a lot of information into these. Hopefully people will get 4 or 5 nuggets that they can use, and we just look forward to helping you any way that we can. Thanks for saying that.
And Madonna, Steve has got some very special gifts in that he's just got such a wide range of information. He also makes himself accessible to you after the fact, so that's nice. But please feel free to jump in and register for any of the Small Business Network classes. They're subject matter experts. They're not highly technical. They're supposed to be empowering and enabling, not confusing. So hopefully this is just one of many classes to come.
Thank you,
Steve.
Carletta, how are you tonight? How about turning your mic on and talk to us? I guess I shouldn't chew ice when I'm giving a webinar. Please excuse me. Okay.
My name is Carlita.
Carlita, all right. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Learning a lot of information. I was trying to do a food truck business. But, any kind of information is better than anything. You never know.
Well, I have some handouts on food truck businesses and starting snack shops. Where are you located, Carlita?
I'm located in Wilson, North Carolina.
Fantastic. Do you have a food truck now?
Yes, I have one, and I'm fixing it up to get it started. So I'm working on it myself right now, and trying to see what's the best to get.
Well, that's wonderful. Send me a picture of it. I'd like to help you get it rocking and rolling.
And Carlita, your Small Business Center director up there at the Rockstar, he is great.
Oh, she's awesome. So
yeah,
she's helping.
and there's a gentleman there too, right? You're both for community college, or are you over the line there?
Wilson Tech.
Okay.
Wilson.
Okay. They're great.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And Annie, did you have any questions? And Leanne? You see, I'm going to try to get you guys to turn your videos on and do some chatting here, because that's a good networking and experience opportunity. The market is moving in all small businesses, to where I feel like that by this time next year, that probably 50% of us will be using FaceTime and these Zoom-type meetings, actually doing deals with our customers, because the education community has already moved that way, and we can see how effective it is. So I want us all to be very comfortable on these platforms to make it happen.
I have a question.
Bring it on, Chuck.
how hard or how easy is it to get a tax ID number, to get a business license, to register your business, and to get a federal ID number?
Well, you go to the IRS website, and they've got a place over in the menu, I think, on the left-hand side to apply for a EIN number. It's free, and you just fill in the blanks and go for it.
Okay.
Katie might have more expertise, but I don't think you have to have an LLC or be incorporated. I think you can have an EIN number as a sole proprietor.
Okay.
Do you know if it's true?
It's actually, the process, Chuck, can be done online now, depending on what type of business structure you're looking for. So, I mean, you've been at the Small Business Center. Look me up, or just reach out to me through email. I have a few links I can send you that are more specific to what you're looking for.
Okay, thanks.
It's
Sure.
about a 10-minute process, but I don't give you a word to the wise. When I did mine, when I was setting up a EIN number for a fundraiser I was doing, when I got ready to click on it, a screen popped up and said, if you want assistance in getting your EIN number, just click here and we'll help you with it. Well, old dummy Steve clicked on it, and my American Express card got charged $300. That was a scam. So eventually American Express got me a credit back. So it's free. Don't click on anything that's going to charge you money, because there are scammers. I raised hell with the IRS, people I could talk to, and they said, Mr. Carver, we can take that down, and in 15 minutes someone else is doing it from somewhere else in the United States. So be careful with your EIN number and don't get in trouble.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If students want recordings of your past classes, do they want to reach straight out to you and you'll send the recordings? Because I know you are recording them.
They can do that, or just ask me in chat to send me the direct link to my YouTube channel. They're all listed right there in a nice shelf. You can just click on what you want.
Okay, we have a student interested, so I'll make sure I follow up.
Me too. I'm interested.
All
okay,
right.
so if you'd like an actual recordings, Steve is very, very generous. We have some instructors that say, unless I see you in my class, you don't get my handouts or videos, but Steve's like, hey, we're all in this together. So please make sure that you either, I have all of your emails, but I don't necessarily know who's talking. So make sure you go ahead and, hey, I know who that is. Make sure you put in the chat, or you can email Steve directly, or email me at the SBC and say, hey, I want the videos, okay?
Okay.
What do you think of that, Nicole?
I can't see it. Back
You
it up,
got
Steve.
it. Yay.
See your candle. He told us all about it.
Really? I was trying to log on. How you like it?
My office has never smelled so good. Instead of having Otis dog smell, I've got magnolia and peony. How about that? And I'm letting my light shine. Okay.
I'm glad you
Steve,
like it.
I'm going to be